Hello, Paul here from EMD Automotive at Canberra, Sydney. I've got this Porsche 997 I'm working on. On Friday, I took the engine out to do some work on the car. I've got my parts already for this car, but just want to go through everything on this car here. So see these plastic hoses here, this one here, these plastic hoses. I'm going to replace them because they are old. This is the original hose from factory. The breather hose, so they are very brittle. This one here, that one there as well, that goes to here, that's got to be replaced as well. I'm going to put a new starter cable. I'm going to make up a new starter cable. This starter cable here is old. This one here is very old, so that's the same one from factory. So what I usually do, I put a heavy duty cable in there and run it, because all this will come off. Or the intake manifold will come off, and then we have to take put a new starter cable. I'm putting a new cooler. See the cooler there? It's leaking. It's starting to leak already. That's our oil cooler. It's starting to leak. You see right there. It's just starting. Not a lot, but it's already started. All right. So, and one thing I found is, see the cam cover. Cam cover gaskets here. That whole cam cover gasket's got to come out so I can reseal it already. So have a look in there. This must come out so I can reseal the actual the cam cover, because it's leaking oil on top there. You can see it there, leaking oil pretty bad. Alright, so let's go to the other side. Okay, this is the front side. I'm doing a water pump as well. This hose here, see that one there? There's another hose on the car that goes onto the actual, this part here. That hose is broken already, so you can't tell until you take the engine out, so you can see more. These pulleys are noisy. Hear that? This one's noisy. That one there. So I usually get a pulley set, replace all the pulleys on this one here. Alright, let's have a look underneath there. Gotta get a new hose for this one. New seal. This side here is alright, but still it's already leaking from here as well. Leaking oil and leaking oil from here as well. Alright, and the rear main seal is leaking as well. See there? There's the rear main seal leaking. So there's a lot of stuff I found on this car that wasn't quoted for the work. It needs to be done, so now we have to order parts, and hopefully the parts are in stock. But anything like this, some parts will always be in Germany. Alright. A lot of rust on this car here as well, so I'm gonna take the exhaust out here. Take the exhaust off. See the rust there? I'll show you what I mean underneath. How bad the rust. Look at that bracket there. Look at the bolts holding the intake manifold on. They're all rusted. See the bolts there? That's all rusted. Pretty bad on this engine here. Even here, look at the fuel rail. Look at the fuel rail here. Look at the rust in the fuel rail. So I've got to take all this off. I've got to clean all this rust off. See, a lot of stuff I've got to do. I've got to take all the wiring harness off, get the sandpaper and clean the excuse me, clean all the rust off the fuel rail, because this is dangerous. It's going to get rust away, get eaten away, and then later on it's going to, because it's always pressurized, so you don't need rust on that. Clean it, and then I've got to clean all that off first. Same on this side here. See the rust on the fuel rail right there? Gotta take the fuel rail out and get it cleaned. Few breather lines, few little lines I've got to take off as well. I've got to get new ones as well, but at the moment both cam covers gotta come off. Cam covers gotta come off, and other stuff, and the fuel rail's gotta come off. Intake manifold is gonna come off as well. So every time I have the engine out, I usually on the 997 or 996, 986. What I do, I take the intake manifold off and put new gasket underneath. New gaskets here on the intake manifold, just in case they start to leak in the future, and it's really hard to do in the car. All right. See that one there? I never used the hose clamp. I used the crimp type because they will touch the actual pulley. All right. 997 engine. Just looking at it. Gotta go back to the customer, and then we'll have a chat, and then we'll talk about what's gonna happen. Let me have a look at the gearbox mount. Gearbox mount looks alright. It's not that bad. Okay. So just gonna go from the back so you guys can see what I'm doing. That's the oil separator inside here. So I'm getting some new hoses as well. Secondary air pump on here. Alright, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.